And the final state is nirodha. Nirodha means once the mind has enabled you to discover this soul within you is the absolute self, that mind is not needed anymore. You may stay with the mind or you can stay out of the mind. The idea is that you become the sky. The sky has no contradiction with clouds, whichever way the clouds want to stay. The sky has no raga dwesha. Om Yogena chittasya padena vacham malam sharirasya cha vaidyakena yopakarot tam pravaram muninam patanjalim pranjalira I offer adorations to the best of sages, sage Patanjali, who gave to the world the scripture of yoga for purifying the chitta, the mind stuff. And he gave the scripture of Ayurvedic medicine for purifying the body. And also the work of grammar for purifying the speech. Is a subtle suggestion. And in order to be a yogi, you must not be one-sided. You shouldn't be a yogi and speaking wrong grammar. Take it literally. It's always good to be perfect in everything you do. So why not be grammatical? But go one step further. Even though you may have the best of speech, perfectly grammatical, but if it does not impact, give truth, lead people to understand, if you are making them more misguided, then you lack grammar, the divine grammar. Satyam vada, priyam vada. Truth should be spoken, but there has to be an art how to speak. So that's simple point. Similarly, your physical body must be well attended to by you with all the knowledge you have and with the help of whatever the world has revealed to you about health and healthy living. The body has to be viewed as an instrument, as a kind of temple that allows you to turn your mind to God. Otherwise, your mind is constantly turned to the body. If you get tired of turning your mind to your body, then turns to others' bodies. Lot of love and hate. Coming back to the topic, let's give you a reiteration. The first sutra was Atha Yoganushāsanam, which meant now we begin the teachings of the yoga. Yoga chitta vritti nirodha, the second sutra that defines the yoga. Controlling the vrittis of the mind. Vrittis are thought waves, or they are like tiny little whirlpools of the mind. Mind is the chitta, the mind stuff. As I have explained to you, there are four aspects of the mind. This subconscious, unconscious aspect does the memory work. It stores impressions. Ahankara aspect of the mind asserts, this is me, these things are mine. Buddhi aspect rationalizes, evaluates. And manas aspect constantly picks up the impressions from the world through the senses. What people call conscious mind. All these four are four acts of the same stuff. As I have explained humorously, you are the stuff. At home, you are mother or father. In your job, you are somebody else. You are an officer, a boss. In different situations, you are named differently. But you are the stuff. Chitta is the stuff. When evaluation takes place through your chitta, it's called buddhi. When ego asserts, it's called ahankara. When you remember, then it's called chitta. The same word we are using with two different senses, just like we use Washington in two ways. As a state, as DC. Or use prana in two ways. Mukhya prana, which has its seat in the heart. And simple prana covers all pranas. So just a specialized way, it is chitta that remembers, stores. Unspecialized way is chitta, the mind stuff. So when you are perceiving the objects of the world, it's called manas. So one chitta performs four actions. Distinct names are mind, intellect, ego, and unconscious. Yoga, chitta, vritti, nirodha. All these functions of this chitta, they are known as vrittis. All your experiences in this, from the state of bondage to the state of release, they depend upon your vrittis, thought waves. The entire world experience is based on thought waves. Just like you watch a cinema show, the entire show depends upon series of projections on the screen. All projections are like thought waves. Vrtti-sarupyam itaratra. When the vrittis are controlled, when it says yoga is the controlling the vrittis of the mind. Control has different levels. But the ideal control is move away from the mind and all its thought waves. That's the state of the goal of yoga. Just like you can say the sky has reached a state of controlling all the clouds and the movements. What it implies, the sky that was in the form of a patch of blue, a little circle of the sky defined by clouds. That part of sky was defined by clouds. If clouds expand, the patch of blue expands. If the clouds come close, it gets suffocated. It moves from one place to another. Consider the sky like the self. That's the self, the soul, absolute. That's what you are. When you are mixed up with this cloud process, you have become an individual soul, led by hot waves of the mind, led by clouds. All the clouds are like thought waves. To be a yogi is to understand that in reality, these thought waves are not taking you away from what you are. The sky is not being taken away from what it is. And if the thought waves are purified, practically the patch of blue will have an absolute identity with the sky. Because this is not to happen, it is just a matter of revelation. Having said that, we continue. Vrtti-sarupyam itaratra. If you are not realized, then you are constantly identified with your thought waves. Your thought waves come in three categories: sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. If you are identified with sattvic thought waves, you experience joyous, serenity, sukh. If you are identified with the rajasic thought waves, the rajasic is just like the sun shining upon a lake. Now, sattvic state is lake is very calm, except just a little shimmer of the tiniest of little waves. So, in spite of the little waves there, the lake is enfolding the vision of the sun in a perfect way. And that state is shant, peaceful, joyous. That's what your goal is, to bring out that state and to stay with it, not to let other gunas dominate. Now, coming to just to understand the sattvic state, you are happy. When rajasic state develops, the lake is shaky. Sun has not gone anywhere, but the lake is unable to experience the sun. With every wave, the lake is restless. Where is the sun gone? And then, just to create a fairy tale, the lake becomes very angry, wants to know who has carried away my sun. Angry with the aquatic creatures within it, with the fishes, with the dolphins. So we're looking at a turbulent lake. It's tamasic state. The sun is just the same, shining all through. In practical day-to-day life, the gunas go on changing based on karmas of the past. And that art one has to learn how to deal with rajas and tamas in such a way that they serve the purpose of enhancing your sattva. All the three gunas have to be always there. If tamas is not there, you can't sleep. If you can't sleep, forget about your liberation. So all the gunas are necessary. Only what is important, that they must be under the control of sattva. Sattva must dominate, led by vrittis of the mind. Your mind comes under 5 stages. It's a very broad classification of mind in general. Mudha state is the lowest state. In that state, a person is absolutely abnormal, absolutely dull wit. But sometimes many abnormal people, they are not in lunatic asylum. and yet they are absolutely mentally deranged. If that were not so, the world wouldn't have been constantly with terror. In normal day-to-day life, everyone succumbs to 3 stages. The mudha, dull, or talking about the other, coming back to it. So mudha was the first state. The second is chitta. Chitta is distracted, constantly restless. In majority of the people stay predominantly in the chitta state. If you continue to create impressions based on rajas, that means you are always trying to have some fun. Party, cinema shows, things that excite you. If you continue with uncontrolled senses, when intellect doesn't have the control over your mind and senses, then a lot of impressions gather in your mind that keep your mind distracted. In distracted state, you may turn to doing good deeds as well as negative deeds. You are prone to both. There comes next stage. Next stage is more cultured. Sattva has begun to develop, and now and then it controls your rajas and tamas. Now and then, but not completely. That state is called vikshipta. That's what people describe as very cultured people. They look up to. Vikshipta state people, they remain good until they have some type of a challenging situation. Then they don't know how much they will explode. The next stage is ekagrata. Now you have come to the yoga state. Mind is now enjoying the presence of the self within you. To become one-pointed. And it has no other way to go but to become more and more. Once the lake has glimpsed the sun by controlling the waves, then the end result, sun will jump into the lake peacefully. The entire sun will be revealed. And the final state is nirodha. Nirodha means once the mind has enabled you to discover this soul within you is the absolute self, that mind is not needed anymore. You may stay with the mind or you can stay out of the mind. The idea is that you become the sky. The sky has no contradiction with clouds, whichever way the clouds want to stay. The sky has no raga dwesha. Good clouds have come with soft colors and dazzling beauty. The sky is the same. Black clouds have come with thundering babies around it, all types. The sky remains calm. Vrtti-sarupyam itaratra, that's this point I have explained to you. Now, to understand vrittis, that's where the focus is. Vrittaya, panchataya, klishta, aklishta cha. Thought waves are of 5 types. Painful and not painful. And what are they? 5 types. implying that if you know the 5 types of thought waves, you will also have a knowledge whether those thought waves are going to create trouble for you or whether they are going to remove trouble for you. 5 types of thought wave. Each thought wave can be directed positively or negatively. That discriminating responsibility is within you. But before you go into that level, try to understand what are those 5 thought waves. Pramana, Viparyaya, Vikalpa, Nidra Smriti. This is the 6th sutra. Pramana, right knowledge. That's what sustains the practical reality. But right knowledge can be klishta, can cause a lot of pain for you, or it can be aklishta. The right knowledge is not ethically right knowledge. It's right knowledge is just a scientific way of saying 2 plus 2 is 4. Whether it's good for you or not, that's a different matter. Your cholesterol has increased 2 plus 2. That's bad. It's the right knowledge, but it's not. It's negative for you. So that again one has to understand. So it leads you to a wonderful understanding. All things that you live by day, there's no right knowledge in it. Look at this sky. We're not seeing this sky. But we're describing how blue it is, and poets give wonderful poetries. But all that you do is recognizing the weakness of your vision. Your vision cannot break into the vastness of the space. It terminates at a certain level. From where your vision turns back, that level becomes transformed into blue sky. But apart from that, in practical day-to-day life, you read geography, the earth is round, but you never at any place find the roundness. Many other things you can think of, and we will deal with more. But pramana means you are gathering right knowledge, your eyes are perfect, your senses are healthy. Viparyaya is wrong knowledge. The example, snake on the rope. It's rope there, but either there is a defect in your eye or there is some lack of light. You open the door and suddenly move back and break your leg. There's a snake there. That's wrong knowledge. But again, wrong knowledge doesn't mean that it shouldn't be there. In practical world, you have to have all this. The idea, the earth is steady and you are secure, your house has been built with a wonderful foundation. That's wrong knowledge. But that wrong knowledge is good for you. Sometimes right knowledge is not good for you. Sometimes wrong knowledge is good for you. In a broad sense, both knowledges are perfectly needed. Day by day, all things are woven by the fabric of these 5 points. The third one, imagination. You enter the room and suddenly move back, there is a snake. Someone comes, opens, there is nothing there, not even a rope. Pure imagination. Imagination again can be very good. All the poetries are written by imagination. A lot of creativity occurs within you because of your imagination. And imagination can be very bad. Next, vritti is called sleep. Nidra. Sleep everybody knows. But from a broader point of view, if you watch yourself, now and then, your mind becomes just void. If that voidness becomes deep, that voidness is an aspect of Nidra vritti. So Nidra vritti is there, always with you. All these vrittis are there with you always. You have the right knowledge, you have the wrong knowledge, you have your imagination, and you are sleeping to many things around you. And the next vritti is smriti. You are remembering everything that you hear, words you hear. You have read it. Early days, you had to work hard. Click your teeth many times. To remember the grammar and all that. Now, whenever you hear the difficult terms, immediately the mind supplies the memory. It is so quick you hardly notice it. Quicker than computers. And there are memories of different types that continue to occur. So these 5 types of vrittis, they have gone to compose your mental process. And day by day, you depend upon them. They bring out the story of your life, things that you accomplish from birth to death. All are defined by these vrittis. And your progress in the world depends upon how you handle them. And on the spiritual path, of course, you need to understand the vrittis that go to create kleshas, klishta vrittis. Kleshas, there are 5 kleshas. These will be explained more later. 5 kleshas should be remembered. Ignorance, avidya. In certain area, mind permits ignorance. Because ignorance makes you relax. Just like in the practical world, the sky permits you not to be dizzy. If there were no such thing like the sky, you will feel you are on the top of a mountain with a tremendous expansion. You will be so dizzy you wouldn't stand. These vrittis, 5 vrittis, as I have been explaining, they are always there. And they create kleshas. So avidya was the first klesha, ignorance. The next, asmita, egoism. Egoism is a product of ignorance. Ego identity is perfectly normal. Everyone has to have an ego. As you walk on slopy grounds, you need to have some stick. Well, what is wrong is to believe that you are the stick. Avidya, asmita, raga, attachment, things that delight you. Everyone has their own way of liking and dislike, led by karmas. Everyone creates raga dwesha process according to their karmic movement. And that becomes the basis of karma in every individual. No two persons have exact experience. Same thing has happened before you. But no two persons will have exactly the same experience. Because your raga dvesha system is different. Many can be kept in a room, all sleeping close by. No two persons will have the same dream. Each mind moves in its different way. So raga dvesha give you that distinction between from one to another difference. And led by raga dvesha, you are embodied. Embodied state is very brittle, very little. To say the sun is the dewdrop, that's not only unrespectful, but it is beyond words. To say the sun is fallen into the lake, or by shaking a jar, say the sun is shaking. Extremely ridiculous. The idea, the self is the body, embodied, is extremely ridiculous. All your experience is not confined to your body. If at all you are like a cell phone with different ways you contact to the whole world. The modern type of cell phone. The whole world picture is there with it. So these are the kleshas: avidya, asmita, avidya, ignorance, asmita, egoism, raga, attachment, dwesha, hatred, abhinivesha, fear of death. Fear of death is that emanates from that illusion, I am the body. If you are the body and then you are constantly counting your birthdays and blowing out candles, it goes on hitting on your mind. How long? The only solace you have that your children will be there in the world. It's such an empty solace. So if the mind were to work against it, instead of constantly asserting I am the body and creating all the stress on that basis, turn your mind to prayer, japa, I am a soul. Vasansi jirnani yatha vihaya, just like clothes when they tear up, become old, they are removed. Put on another dress, more fashionable than before. And if you become liberated, you don't do that either. But even as it is, your soul has gone on changing. So the body is of little importance. Insight, as you gather in that way, you are creating aklishta movement, a movement that contradicts the fear aspect. Similarly, a movement that contradicts the dwesha, hatred, a movement that contradicts the raga, attachment, depending on objects, begging from the objects for your satisfaction, and a movement that allows your ego to become more sattvic, turns you to humility, and a movement that allows ignorance to be dispelled and the knowledge shines bright. Imagine how enriching life becomes. The same mind, bogged down by kleshas, is completely deprived you of all blessings. Rather, it is full of unblessings. So it is by simple adjustment, little by little, you make a change in the movement of your mind. Instead of going on creating kleshas, you know the method of aklishta movement, neutralizing the kleshas, no matter how long it takes. Even the question of time is a vritti of the mind. Now, further explanations of Pramana, Viparyaya, Vikalpa, Nidra Smriti. Pratyaksha anuman agamaha pramanani. Right knowledge is of three types. Direct perception. You have used your hand, you have touched the object, you have smelt it. If it is tastable, you taste it. You have smacked it to see how hard it is. You did everything possible. That's direct perception. At the mass level, that's considered the most desirable. Can God be like a direct? Can we see God? But fortunately not. Because all things that are directly perceived are a work of illusion. All your senses are limited. So through extremely limited senses, what you have perceived and interpreted as a direct knowledge, that's due to the dullness of the mind. Even the food that you eat, nourishment is not seen. It is something different. If every food has a direct impact on your body, life will be miserable. Pratyaksha, direct perception. That you need to understand. That's pratyaksha. Whatever you perceive with your eyes, your ears. That's anuman. Things that you directly are perceiving a smoke from a distance. Is direct perception. But you step up to another level. There is fire. Fire and smoke, they are always, where there is fire, where there is smoke, there is fire. They are related. So therefore you act according to your anuman, inference. Since there is smoke, there will be fire, so let's not go that way. Hanuman, like Hanuman, has enfolded tremendous knowledge. All scientific research is done on the basis of inference. All inferential knowledge. The entire sky has been mapped out. Stars have been given identities. Bigger suns have been revealed through the science. Much bigger. Our sun is just a dwarf. Did they see all that? No, by inference. The entire mathematical process is inference. The third is agama. It's another level of insight or experience. Agama is testimony. Testimony is, in ordinary sense, when people, having come from a travel, give to you the idea how the things are. You look up to them and see they have good beard and they're a mature person. So you must realize the testimony is perfect. It's testimonial knowledge. In another level, it refers to all the scriptural knowledge. And that's when sages tell you about different things. Soul is eternal. Self-realization, your goal. The steps that lead you to enlightenment. So many types of insights are given to you. Heaven, hell, and all types of things. Lokas. And you begin to develop faith in what you have heard. And you go deep into it, and you yourself begin to experience what the sages have said. Testimonial knowledge. That's called agama. So there are three sources of gathering knowledge. Right knowledge, inferential knowledge, testimonial knowledge. All these three types of knowledge is called Pramana. Pramana referring to right knowledge. In that context, Pratyaksha means direct perception, inference, testimonial knowledge. All the three come under the category of right knowledge. Now we come to another step. Viparyayo mityaganam jnanam atadrupa pratishtitam. Viparyaya, or wrong knowledge, is that which is not established in the right form of the object. The example is given, snake on the rope. There is a rope. Your knowledge must fit in with the shape of the rope. That rope is a kind of a mold. And when your knowledge exactly goes into the same mold, then it's the right knowledge. But it doesn't go into the same mold and start jumping around. So much so that the rope goes out of your view. Then that's called wrong knowledge. All these are very subtle implications. Always your mind tries to get an object that you are studying. It creates a concept of knowledge that must fit in with that object. But sometimes you are objective, you allow the knowledge to come to you without any distortion. But sometimes you are biased. So you have created your own concept, and your concept doesn't exactly fit in with the object. I've led you to another level. Here it is just a very practical point being described. Wrong knowledge, whenever you see snake on the rope type of experience, ghost in the post, sometimes people mistake their own shadow as somebody else following me. Oh, these are wrong knowledge. But as I said, it's enough normal to have right knowledge, wrong knowledge, imagination, sleep, and memory. If you don't have all these, you are not a healthy person. You need to be checked. But what is needed, idea, that all these four, right knowledge, wrong knowledge, imagination, sleep, and memory, they all bring about neutralization of kleshas. And that being in the view, try to understand what type of right knowledge you should gather. Don't hear everything that goes on. That's why we hear the example of the three monkeys. The monkey that holds hand on the eyes. Don't go on seeing everything that's there. Control yourself. Ears, don't go on hearing everything. You may say, but you're the right thing. But that has nothing to do with it. No matter how right the knowledge you are gathering, right from the point of view of perception, it can be positive, it can be negative. So therefore, control your senses. So having said that, Pramana, Viparyaya, Vikalpa, Nidra, and Smriti. Viparyaya I have explained how snake on the rope. Coming to the next level, Shabda Jnananupati Vastu Shunyo Vikalpa. That perception which follows mere verbal knowledge, devoid of reality, is imagination. As I have said, if you see a snake, even though there is not even a rope, the tremendous involvement of mind is in imagination. This person is coming towards you. Immediately your mind builds up imagination. You are too rich, immediately the idea comes, here comes someone who wants to get my money. That's a very crude illustration. Your imagination can be positive, negative. An example is given. Someone on the road is unconscious, fallen down. Different people pass by. A thief passes by and says, oh, this man was carrying more than he could carry. He stole more. And he runs away. Another comes, he's drunk. This man is coming from the bar. Sees a person. He took too much drink. Each one develops imagination. Even in that imagination, you are creating karmas. If you have developed a wrong type of imagination, and you are going to carry that as a gossip. I saw some rich man, some important man fallen down because he drank too much or because he stole something. That's how gossips start. Imagination flares up, lot of agitation. Same way, your imagination is implied when you bring the teachings of the scriptures. How does Rama look like? You have never seen. But to urge human mind to be imaginative. And that type of imagination is of a different nature. So far about imagination. The third one is Nidra, sleep. And the fourth one is Smriti, memory. That's a suspense for the next. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.